Now, when veterans return from combat, they often face a whole new battle, life after war. Our next guest knows all too well the burden of transition, but he's using his acting and storytelling skills to help other veterans win the war at home. And that's why he's our Huck's hero tonight. Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann started the organization The Hero's Journey to help veterans find their voice and tell their own story. To tell us about this important work, would you please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann. Scott, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Colonel, 23 years in the military, 18 of which were as a Green Beret.
Yes, sir.
Not everybody makes that cut, so obviously your commitment to this country is absolutely rock solid.
Thank you.
But you saw what happened when people go to war, they come home, and sometimes they didn't leave the war back overseas.
Right.
They brought it home with them.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I did 4 tours in Afghanistan, and when I retired about 6 years ago, my transition was pretty challenging. My wife, Monty, and I, we've been married 24 years, my 3 boys. I thought it would be awesome. But coming home was harder than I thought. And it was really through learning to tell my own story that I found a way to transition out of that. And that's what we do today, is we use storytelling to help veterans find their voice and tell their story as they come home.
You help them actually write plays. Now, did you have a background in being a playwright or a writer?
I didn't, and I'm also performing the play. So you talk about a midlife crisis.
Because it ain't the kind of thing you think of a Green Beret saying, I believe I'll be a playwright when I get home.
That's exactly what my teammates told me too.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm a speaker as well, and I was doing a 5-minute one-person show for my class, and by the end of the story, there wasn't a dry eye in the room, and people said, that's a play. And so 2 years later, a lot of writing and a lot of work, we have a play called Last Out, Elegy of a Green Beret, and we're taking it around the country.
Let's talk about that phrase, last out. Tell me what that means.
Well, you know, in the movies and on the screen, we always see the stuff about the first in, you know, whether it's Navy SEALs or Army Rangers going in and taking down a target. But what we don't see are the stories of the last out, those men and women who go back to Afghanistan, back to Iraq, 8, 10, 12 times. And I appreciate you labeling me as a hero, but honestly, it's those folks that are the heroes, and more importantly, the families that endure that. Never
in the history of America have people been sent repeatedly into combat situations over and over again over a long stretch of time. And we're just now beginning to understand that there's some real damage going on to people's spirits when they experience something like that.
Let me tell you, I mean, when you deploy 8, 10, 12 times and you're seeing sustained combat day in and day out, it has an effect, right? And that's what this play actually is about. When you're over there, you're wishing you were home. And when you're home, you're wishing you were over there, and it's just a constant cycle.
How can people connect so that they can see the play? How can they, maybe they're veterans, they'd love to know what they can do to connect to your organization?
Well, the first thing is we'd love them to go to theheroesjourney.org, H-E-R-O-E-S, journey.org. Online, we can help them learn to tell their story as a transition tool. But if you want to see the play, and we'd love to have you there as well, Governor.
Love to come.
Lastoutplay.com. And by the way, we brought you, as a friend of our Heroes Journey organization, we brought you a go bag.
Oh,
This is what every good operator carries with them, just in case things go south. You can always grab this thing and head for the hills. So,
I've done a few shows, Colonel, that went south. I may need that bag right here at this desk. A go bag. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
But more than for the bag, thank you for the extraordinary service and sacrifice that not just you, but your entire family has made on behalf of me and all of these people who are the beneficiaries of your service and sacrifice. God bless you.
Thank you. And
a well-deserved ovation for Colonel Mann. God bless him. To find out more about the Hero's Journey, go to theheroesjourney.org. And as the Colonel said, to see Last Out in person, go to lastoutplay.com for the locations and the show times. I hope I'll be able to catch one of them. I truly do.